Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today is a little bit different for Jan and I. First of all, Jan, I believe this is now the PMI Shorts number 3. And today is a little bit different because I'm typically talking and asking Jan questions. Today, Jan and I are asking the questions. We are joined by Rachel Bomar. Rachel is with TidalHealth, a healthcare system in Salisbury, Maryland. And TidalHealth has just recently made the decision to bring CMOM on board in-house, however we want to phrase that, for some of their personnel. And we wanted to visit about that today. So having said that, Jan, welcome. Rachel, thanks for being here.
Thanks, David. Good to be here with you today. And Rachel, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for having me.
Absolutely. So, Rachel, I wanted to start off by having you just give a kind of a brief overview of TidalHealth, and then also your role within TidalHealth and what you do.
Sure. So TidalHealth is a combined healthcare system. We are a regional health care. Let me try this again. A regional healthcare system based out of Salisbury, Maryland, with a footprint of about 60 miles outside of the Salisbury area. So we have the combined areas in Delaware, in Sussex County, and we also go all the way down the counties in Maryland on the Eastern Shore to the Virginia line. So like I said, it's a very large geographical footprint for a healthcare system. And my role is the Human Resources Director and Talent Management Director for our medical and ambulatory settings. So we have 2 regional hospitals, and then we have approximately 65 ambulatory primary care and specialist care locations in that footprint. So we have offices all the way in Federalsburg, which is about 25 miles north of Salisbury, and then we have offices all the way down in Pocomoke, Maryland, which is again another 25 to 30 miles south of Salisbury. The general hub though is here in Salisbury.
Fantastic. I love the talent management part of that title. I'm starting to see that certainly more and more. Rachel, during the planning of this, one of the things that you said that just really struck me, I wrote it down. You said that today, workforce development is firmly on the employer. Can you talk a little bit more about that and kind of explain what you meant?
Sure. So individuals that are entering the workforce, whether they're seasoned or brand new folks right out of high school, they're looking for opportunities for advancement and career pathways in non-traditional means. So what that means for the employer is that we identify folks that we feel like are going to be a good fit for our culture, and then we have to present to them almost like a buffet dinner plate style, an opportunity for them to have a career pathway with us. Jan and I were just briefly having conversation before we started the recording. There is a 18 to 24 month window of opportunity for employers to really firmly plant the seeds of growth and advancement within their organizations before people are going to start looking for opportunities outside of the organization. So what that means is we have a very tight compressed window to select talent, to identify where that talent can be best utilized in our healthcare system, and to provide them the opportunities that look appetizing to them and enticing enough to where they're going to participate. And part of that for us, we identified was the CMOM program.
Jan, I'll let you go.
So Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about how you came across CMOM and what made you decide to implement it in your health system?
Sure. So when I took my role approximately a year ago, the actual hard copy curriculum was sitting on the desk when I came into the office. It was really fortuitous because I saw some modules, anything that has HR in it, piques my interest because I'm an HR practitioner and that's where my expertise is. So I took a look at it and I peeled into it again, it's a hard copy. I looked at the curriculum, I looked at the structure, and I just spent some time familiarizing myself with that material. And what stuck out to me the most was it was very compact, it was very direct, and it was very supportive to everything that happens in that medical office management atmosphere. So I asked some of my leadership, what was their experience with the CMOM program? They supported it. They felt it was a very strong program. At that point, we probably had about a quarter of our leadership certified. And through asking about the program, working with Michael Moore, and just understanding a little bit more about the structure, what the process was, we came to understand that that was a fast track process for us to develop that medical office leadership for us. And it was a successful program for competencies. It's a proctored exam. So it's not a seminar. You just attend the seminar and you get a feel-good certificate.
Right.
This is a structured learning program that demonstrates competency by that proctored exam. And the outcome for us is qualified, competent leaders who can take our medical office into that next phase of growth for us. And last fiscal year, it was about 30%. So, it turns out that was a smart move for us.
Okay,
That's
great.
fantastic.
Can you speak a little bit to the value that the folks taking this course, what is the immediate value they find, and then what is the long-term value?
The immediate value is that they feel good about demonstrating those competencies. Whenever you can check a box, that is an intrinsic motivator for all people. Everybody likes to be able to check a box. So that's the immediate feedback they get. But what I hear from the practice managers and the supervisors that have completed the program is this gives me a reference material to go back to as I progress throughout my career, and I can go back to that reference material and understand what I need to do in this business model. So our structure is practice manager oversees either a service line or a book of service lines, and they are given goals and given opportunities to take that service line kind of like their own little market and make that growth happen in their service line and in their sectors. And our success as a healthcare system to meet our mission is based on growth in those service lines. So the long-term benefit they get is they have this reference material and they have the expertise now to go along with the experience they have in the front office. The experience they have as medical assistants. So it's that leadership quality that they get out of this material that helps them maintain their trajectory in the organization.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Rachel, can you, do you have any specific examples of growth that happened with managers once they took the classes? There's something that perhaps they gained a greater understanding that they didn't before. I know a lot of times with health systems, they rely on other departments. So can you speak to that a little bit?
So what our CMOM certified managers are able to do for us is to see the overall business aspect of what they're doing. It's very easy for a clinician to kind of get stuck in medical assistant world, or they get stuck in the front business office world. And that's where they really focus all of their growth for their practice. Well, what the CMOM does is it gives them an overview of the whole business model. It gives them structure in not only the finances, but the people part of it and the HIM part of it. And so they're able to move that practice to a different place. And where we see the most success with that is going to be in our family practice offices. Our family practice offices are structured to carry family practice, general care, endocrinology, some of them nephrology. So you get some of this multi-specialty groups enclosed in these family practice offices because it just makes sense. But those managers have to be able to accept a larger scope of practice because now they've got specialty and family practice. And the specialty medical office management takes a little different focus But without having that structured approach to learning and having completed the modules and the programs in the CMOM certification, they don't understand how to take that business from just one pipeline into these three service lines now, but still maintain focus on the medical office overall.
Interesting.
That's
You know, Jan, in several of the interviews I've done just recently, two recurring thoughts keep coming up. One is CMOM gives a great foundation to build from, and two, it gives people this sense of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I thought I knew it. Now I really do know it. Look out.
Right. The proctored process really cements that in, because again, it's one thing to go to a seminar, you get a certificate and okay, great. You know, I finished that. Let me check that off the list. But with the CMOM program, it's module by module, little success by little success. And what really does cement that learning is when you have to be able to remember module 1, 2, and 3 when you're completing and taking that proctored exam, because it's overall.
Right.
And David's completely right. We celebrate those successes as an organization. Our marketing team gets behind us, and we just had Melissa is one of our brand new CMOMs. So we've got her picture up. We've got her success story.
Nice.
And our system celebrates those victories in what we call Grow With Me. So we're able to demonstrate where Melissa was a rad tech / medical assistant. She went to supervisor. Well, now she's CMOM, and she's looking at managing more locations or building out the breadth of what she's managing in her current practice.
That's fantastic. I know in the planning of this, I remember you talked about that the overall system really supported this, and you just made reference to it. You guys really celebrate these people's success and their accomplishment. I think that's fantastic.
So 2 ways that we do that is, as a system, we pay for the program. We pay for all of the modules. We pay for the exam. We support the CEU requirements because we know that, that's a cost, and we benefit from them continuing their education. So why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we pay for that? That's simple. That's very easy. So the other way that we really support their continued growth and development is by the layers that we offer this. So when somebody comes into a supervisor position, as soon as I see that supervisor offer made, on the supervisor checklist, on our orientation checklist in their HR meeting with me, we start talking about CMOM. Okay, this is a program. Let me send you the outline. Let me hook you up with our consultant. Let's get you ready to move towards this certification. And that helps set the stage for that next layer of development. And it also gives us a pool of practice managers that are competent and ready to move to that practice manager position. For incoming practice managers, when we orient them again and they have that HR orientation with me, we talk about CMOM within the first year. I really want our practice managers to all have the same understanding of operations within that first year. And that's a lot for a brand new incoming practice manager who may not be part of our system. But again, we feel that that foundation sets a consistent expectation for our group, and its consistency across the management field. And that's what we really want to see in a healthy organization, is consistency across the management field.
Well, I think that is just amazing. Jan, did you have something else?
Yeah, just Rachel, I know in the last few years, health systems across the country have stated they are having a hard time finding qualified applicants and so forth. So by offering the CMOM to the supervisors and up and coming managers and so forth, have you found that that is filling those open positions that you're able to promote within rather than look to the outside?
Absolutely. And that was our intent in moving it to that supervisor level. We want to build the pool of managers who already know our system and already know how our operations are based at the practice level and build that leadership quality and put them into that next level. So of course that helps us identify practice managers for the next set of practices. We have a really aggressively growing graduate medical education program here at TidalHealth. It's super quick growing. And those GME clinics are generally in the practice realm. So the GME has our internal medicine and our community health clinics. And without us having a pipeline of practice managers to almost match the growth of the GME growth, I'm going to be really looking, for practice managers consistently. So it's just smart as a health system for people who fit our culture, just grow those folks. They already know what the front end operation is supposed to do. They know what our back end ops look like.
Right.
Just grow that other piece of it, and take the mystery away from what does it take to be a leader at TidalHealth. There's no mystery here. The CMOM is the pathway, and it's very upfront and very visible. And the lead MAs and even the front end business operations people, they see their leaders, their supervisors and managers completing this program. So they know what that pathway looks like. And then when you start peeling that back even further, they know that that's how that they get to the next level. So as soon as I get to supervisor, I know Rachel's going to call me and we're going to talk about this program, and I'm going to get that ability. I'm going to get the ability to participate and move in a direction that looks good for me.
That's fantastic.
Wonderful.
Wow. Well, Jan, how do you like being on this side of the table?
Yeah, great. Rachel,
don't...
we've learned so much from you and how you've implemented CMOM, and I think it's great. And kudos to you for recognizing up and coming leaders within your organization and giving them a pathway to reach those goals.
Well, it really was. Michael did a great thing here when he just sent, I don't know where my hard copy came from, but if it hadn't been sitting on the basket, literally on the desk right behind me, I don't know that we would be here. But I'm so very thankful. That is something I'll always be grateful for, is having that one copy that I saw on, it must have been day 2 of me starting this position, and just digging into it and just reviewing it before I did anything else with it.
We need to hire a group of minions and start sneaking those manuals into people's offices all over the country.
It really was. It spoke very well to me. I mean, it's not a little manual. If you've ever held the hard copy, it's big old. It's very large.
Absolutely.
So and it's just a very robust program. I think Michael and I had talked before. It's been around for a number of years, so it's not just this very startup, brand new, let's throw this out there.
We're celebrating our 25th anniversary of CMOM this year.
Right. So in accordance with that, it's a tried and true and validated means of getting expertise into the medical office. And it's worked very well for us. Our guys feel empowered. They feel ready to tackle the business needs and the demands that they see in operations, and they feel equipped. And like Jan said, that's very empowering.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Well, Rachel, I can't thank you enough for participating in this today. I'm sure a lot of people will find value in just hearing your story and what you all have done and accomplished. Jan, thanks so much for sitting on this side of the proverbial electric table front with me.
Sure.
I hope both of you have an amazing day.
Well, again, thank you for the opportunity to highlight our health system. And thank you for the opportunity for us to promote the product for you guys.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Everyone
Bye-bye.
have a great day.
Yep.
You guys too.